Hello again, welcome back to All Grown Up. It's Francis, and continuing my hysterectomy journey. Hopefully, this will be quite a funny one because I want to talk about my catheter. Right, so what happened was when I was about, what was it? This is the second day after I'd had my operation. They'd put a catheter in the night. So for those who maybe are not sure what it is, a catheter is a really thin tube that they put up the urethra, which is the so you've got the bladder and then the urethra and then that you wee, obviously. But they put this tube up and then they kind of inflate this thing, and then that means that you don't have to go to the toilet. So they put me one on for the night, which I was really grateful for because I wouldn't have been able to go to the loo anyway. So they put that in the nighttime. They had a bag, and this is the common version, right? So the next day they took it out, and I would drank loads of water, and the nurse was like, "Do you want to go to the loo, Francis?" And I'm like, "No, I can't feel any feelings of wanting to go to the loo." So I kept drinking, thinking I'm just so dehydrated from all of what had gone on and the all of the drugs. So I thought, oh no, I'm just reorganizing my body, but it wasn't that at all. So what eventually, because I went and then I tried to have a wee and I couldn't. So this is going to be a TMI type of situation. If you do not want this, please say goodbye now. See you later. Lots of love. Bye. So, okay, so if you're still here, you want to know. So, all right. Okay, so I went to the loo. It's not funny. I went to the loo and I couldn't do anything. I was like, I didn't know what was going on. I just couldn't go. And I knew that my stomach was really full or my bladder was full. But I just couldn't go to the loo. So I went back and the nurses were like, well, we're just going to have to put a catheter in. And I was going home that day. So I was like, well, how's that going to work? She said, well, you're going to have to keep it in for a week. I'm like, a week? Are you kidding? No. So I went to try again to have another wee. Nothing happened. So I came back and really despondent. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have a catheter for a week. But a week didn't seem like a week. Bear in mind, I was still all over the place, but a week felt like forever, So, and I was really upset, but she said, look, this is just going to have to happen. I was like, okay then. And by this time I was really, really full as well. So anyway, I'm not going to dwell on this particular part. So she inserted this catheter, and it's not super pleasant. And then they blow up this balloon inside the bladder, and they fill it up with like a fluidy stuff, watery stuff, in order to hold everything in. Now, this wasn't a catheter with a bag, as I'd had before, and I know of because, I've seen those. This is a catheter that is not very long, that it comes out, but not very far. And then there's this, like a switch. What? So she said, so you have to actually go to the toilet, but then you turn on this thing and then it comes out. So you're not, everything, it will work. So bear in mind, I was really full. So she showed me how it worked, and which was just the weirdest thing. And I was like, okay. So this thing is just hanging, right? And so so after a little while, I said, well, I'm going to have to try it then. And Andrea, my lovely sister, was with me because she'd come to pick me up. And so she said, well, can I come with you? I better come with you because all the nurses were so busy. So I said, okay. So we went to this enormous toilet. Not the toilet wasn't huge. The room was huge. So, and so I got this thing, I got it out, right, like this, standing up. So I'm standing up and I opened the switch thing. There's like a little lever, and it started to work. So there I am, standing, having a wee, right? No womb, and I'm weeing like a man. So what's going on? So I'm standing there, and obviously gravity's making it come out. So I had the wee like a man. It's the weirdest thing. But I've always wondered. I think most women secretly want to know what it feels like to wee standing up. Now I know. And I can tell you it's a little bit odd because it goes all over the place and you have to really concentrate so you don't get it everywhere. And now I can understand why men get it all over the seat. I'm lifting the seat up now to go to the toilet. What is going on in the world? Anyway, so I went home and it's really, really uncomfortable. It is not a comfortable thing at all. But you've got to laugh, because if I wasn't laughing, I would be crying about this thing the whole time, because it's because of the discomfort, because of the fact that I have to have it on for such a long time. Now today is what is today is it's Monday. In fact, this time last week, I was in the having my surgery. I was actually having my surgery 1 week ago right now. So I think so. Yeah, with respect to the time, I was just in there. So incredible, really, the progress that you can make in a week and what's happened in the last week. So anyway, going back to the catheter. So I've now had it in for 6 days. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to go and get it taken out. Take it out, and fingers crossed, I can then wee on my own, like a proper person, or a woman at least. But anyway, so certain little things have come up in terms of, as a woman, you do not think about. Thing one, and hopefully this is funny for people. Thing one, you don't think about sides. The other thing is, so because it was dangling, this thing, and pulling at the beginning, I thought, oh gosh, it's really uncomfortable. So Andrea, my sister, was like, right, we need to tape it up or get something round and make sure it's attached. So the nurse came up with this thick kind of tape thing with Velcro. It was stupidly strong Velcro. It's brilliant. And so I have that wrapped around my thigh, right? So it's a little bit like a holster with a gun, except the thing is on the inside of my thigh rather than a gun on the outside of the thigh. No, I don't know. It's just becoming ridiculous. So I've got this taped thing all the way around my thigh, and then I tuck it in, right, so that it doesn't dangle. But then if I've not been wearing clothes much, I'm kind of, because it's so uncomfortable. So when I was going home, obviously I had to wear trousers. So I kind of gingerly put it on, and so it went down the right side, just so you all know. Who knows? Had I been a man, maybe that would be my side. Is that what it's even called? But anyway, and then after a while, it was really irritating everything. So I've changed sides. Now it's on my left thigh, right? So I've got this thing going around my left, and it's tucked in to my left. I find it's too much information. Anyway, so it's there, right? But it feels really uncomfortable. And I'm saying this to Isaiah, who's looking after me at the moment. And he said, oh, yeah, we have a side. I didn't even know. Did you know? So anyway, oh, how hilarious. And the other really interesting thing is, this is probably definitely too much. However, I'm going to do it anyway. When you go to the toilet as a woman, you sit down, you do whatever it is you're doing, and then you come out. As a man, if you wee, so you have your wee, this is now my weeing action, you have your wee, but then if you need to do anything else, you have to sit down. But I'd never thought about it. I'd never thought, oh, they have to make the actual decision. I'm going to sit down because I don't just want to wee. I'm going to leave it at that, I think. Anyway, I'm so pleased I'm a woman. I am a woman, despite not having a womb, and despite the fact that I'm currently weeing standing up. So I think the thing that I want to leave you with really is that it is, when they first told me about it, I was really, really upset. I couldn't get my head around this a whole week of this extreme discomfort, and it's really uncomfortable. However, I've got through it. and I've laughed through it. And that's the only way that I've been actually able to do it, because had I taken it much more seriously and not made jokes about it, then I don't know, it would have been really much harder. So yeah, there it is. That's my find the funny. And if I can find the funny in this situation, then, you know, maybe look for the funny in whatever situation you're in, because it's always somewhere. You can always laugh. So I think I'll leave it at that. I've gone on quite a long time. Hopefully I've given you a laugh. If I have made you laugh, please do a laughing face down below. Otherwise, have a really great day. And I shall talk to you very soon. Okay, lots and lots of love. Mwah. Bye. Hello, I'm back for a quick additional with the cat. Just to let you know that my catheter's out. Yay! It came out without any problem, and I passed all the tests that the hospital wanted me to go through to be able to be released without it. So I'm just really thrilled. So what freedom, what a relief. And it really makes me so pleased to be able to wee normally. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say. Have a wonderful day and see you soon. Mwah.